Hey, what's going on, guys? You got Tone here, bringing you my draft recap for Season 2 of the NES, or the National Exhibition Syndicate. So we are back for another season. If you remember from back in Season 1, the very first league I actually joined, we made it all the way to the finals of Season 1, and we fell short in the final match against the Aston Charizards. So we're gonna try our best here with this brand new team, trying to make a run back to the finals and hopefully win that first title. So the draft finished not too long ago, so I'm just gonna run down my team that I picked, my team of 11 Mons. This was a tiered draft, so not gonna mince words here. I'm just gonna jump right into the draft. Based on our performance from Season 1, we had our draft order, including some new coaches. I had the 12th pick in the draft, and as you see by the first Pokemon I selected with my round 1 pick, I selected Jirachi. So Jirachi gave me, I want to start with something versatile, something with a very solid typing, something with a good niche as not being so predictable. Jirachi fits a lot of those criteria simply because it has access to Stealth Rock, it can be a Calm Mind setter, it can be a Choice Scarf user. Basically anything I need Jirachi to do, it can do. Not really much to say about that. Solid 100, base 100 stats across the board and all that stuff. Maybe albeit slow, but it has a great typing. It gives me an immediate dragon check and all that good stuff. So nothing much to say about that. So that's my round 1 pick in Jirachi. So moving on to round number 2, didn't have much to wait as it's a snake draft, so I had a little bit of time. I was towards the back end of the draft, so I sort of had a wheel pick, so to speak. And if you guys remember my Season 1 team when I had Mega Gardevoir and then Kyurem Black and stuff like that, so I wanted to get my own Dragon Fairy Steel Core, get it started early. So I wanted to go for a Fairy type early on. So Jirachi being my first Tier 1, next Pokemon I pick is from Tier 2. So that Pokemon ended up being the Togekiss, forming that whole flinch core with Jirachi plus Togekiss. But Togekiss Grace here is something I've really wanted to try in Draft League format. I've never used it. I had to face it plenty of times, and it was a major annoyance, to be perfectly honest. But having that great fairy flying typing, giving me a ground immunity, a dragon immunity, it could be a stall breaker with Nasty Plot, Nasty Pass, Thunder Wave, Air Slash, a good portion of utility moves. So can't go wrong with Jirachi Togekiss here. Maybe people might be upset because I have a flinch core, but I don't really see Jirachi Togekiss as a flinch core. I see it as a steel type that puts in work versatile from a versatile standpoint, and Togekiss being basically along the same lines. So there's not really much to say about Togekiss. Basically, it's a utility mon. Can be annoying though with the whole Serene Grace, Air Slash, and Thunder Wave, recovery with Roost. So I can understand Jirachi Togekiss being a very, very big pain, but that's their problem, not mine. So that's my round 2 pick. For round number 3, the one thing I lacked in my Season 1 team, I had no fire type, and I wanted a hard-hitting fire type right off the bat. And Arcanine was franchised. That would have been a great mon to pair up with these two, but there was something else I wanted that was available, and I decided to take it. If Infernape wasn't Tier 1, I would have taken it right away, but sadly I couldn't. But luckily for me, this was still available in round number 3, and I had to take it. So with my round 3 pick, I went with Barong the Entei. So everybody knows what Entei does, just click Sacred Fire and just destroy lives, basically. Just Sacred Fire, Extreme Speed, Of course, extreme speed forces Entei to run adamant over Jolly, but at the same time, it does get some cool moves. Mainly its job is just going to be spamming Sacred Fire. It's a Will-O-Wisp switching. The Stealth Rock weakness is kind of problematic, and I do have Entei and Togekiss, but Togekiss gets Defog, gets Recovery with Roost. Entei can be run Band-Aid, Assault Vest, basically any way I want Entei to function. It doesn't have to be a wall breaker all the time, although technically it is. And having a strong wall breaker with access to priority and extreme speed is very, very nice. Something I also sort of lacked on my Season 1 team was some decent priority, even though I had like Hitmontop, Shalsey, Gorgai, Sucker Punch, Druddigon. I wouldn't really consider it reliable for the most part, as it did have its flaws, but extreme speed is very, very solid, especially if my opponent's not have a ghost type. So that's my round 3 pick in the Entei. So for round number 4, I decided I wanted to start getting some bulk. And having a good pivot and a physical switching would have been very, very solid for my team. And considering that I have Pokemon that can cover for its weaknesses, well, most of its weaknesses, I felt as though it was right to get this Mon. And it's basically a very, very solid pivot and a good overall utility tank Mon that can function in a lot of different ways. So with my round 4 pick, I decided to pick up Ragweed, the Tangrowth. So again, another Mon that I've never used in Draft League format. I've had to play against it, and it's such a pain to take down a Tangrowth if you don't have a special attacker. And even so, Assault Vest Tangrowth does do work, and even uninvested base 110 special attack, base 100 attack, it's nothing to sneeze at. The base 50 defense, special defense is pitiful, but like I said, it can be patched up. Does get Regenerator to keep it. Does get Regenerator to keep that health high. Access to knockoff, Power Whip, doesn't have to be run physical, it can be run special as well. So there's a plethora of all these great coverage moves, knockoff, Earthquake, choice of hidden power, Sludge Bomb, the list goes on and on. So having a strong pivot like Tangrowth is very, very nice for this sort of team, and it's especially helpful not only to get help with the generator, it also helps out with the fact that Entei can cover for its fire and ice weakness, and Entei's ground and rock weakness is covered by, and water weakness is covered by Tangrowth. Just have to be wary of special attackers, but that's not too much trouble here. So moving on now to round number 5, I figured now would be the time to try to complete my Dragon Fairy Steel Core. The list of the dragon types were kind of barren, in my position at least, because there were some dragons I wanted early on, but I couldn't get it considering my points. So with my round 5 pick, I decided to take pretty new Pokemon to me. I've seen it used against me pretty decently. And that Pokemon is Sahara the Flygon. So Flygon getting the new buff in Gen 7, getting access to Dragon Dance, as well as still getting moves like Defog, Dragon Claw, Outrage, Earthquake. Its stats are pretty mediocre, but the ability to get Dragon Dance, which is very, very cool, can still act as a decent defogger. It's an electric check, it's not a full-on counter, considering that it's 4 times weak to ice, and but I do have my ice resist being Entei and Jirachi in the back. But still, Flygon is very, very nice to have. It gives me another defogger to go along with Togekiss, so that way Togekiss doesn't have to worry about running defog if I don't need Flygon to be run offensively, which is very cool. Yeah, it's really nothing much to say about Flygon. It's the buff was very, very nice and all that good stuff. And hopefully Sahara going to be putting in some work for me in the next couple of weeks. So moving on now, we hit round number 6. And the main thing I was lacking so far in my draft so far was, for the most part, I wanted something bulky. At the same time, I wanted an extra Stealth Rocker at the same time, because currently my only Stealth Rocker was Jirachi, and I kind of wanted to run other sets on Jirachi. So figured I'd get another Stealth Rock or something with something with Stealth Rock and Recovery. And it's a Pokemon I really wanted to try out, another new Mon that I'd never used before in the format. So with my round 6 pick, this Pokemon was tier 5, but in our league it moved up to tier 4. So we have for round 6 we have Bluebell, our shiny Miltank. Miltank, very, very bulky on the physical side and ridiculously fat for a wall. 3 great abilities: Stick Fat, Scrappy to hit those ghost types, and Sap Sipper to give me another grass switch in, but I do have my Tangrowth. But Miltank can run a plethora of sets to get Stealth Rock, reliable recovery with Milk Drink, a lot of access to great coverage options. Don't even need to run it offensively. I can just run like a Seismic Toss support set, get access to Thunder Wave, a lot of different milk drink for recovery, a lot of different utility options like Heal Bell, all that good stuff. So yeah, something like Miltank, it's something I like for my team, considering how Thick Fat helps out with the Fire and Ice weakness from my Tangrowth. My fighting weakness on Miltank is covered by my my Togekiss, excuse me, as Togekiss does quad resist fighting. So yeah, that's pretty much Miltank, pretty much a doer of a whole lot of things, and very fast, base 100 speed and all that good stuff. So that is my Miltank. So now we hit round number 7. And with round 7, another thing that I really lacked from my Season 1 team was the fact that I didn't have much of a... I didn't have a Dark type either. My Psychic check on my Season 1 team was between my Blissey and my Gardevoir, my Mega Gardevoir. So I wanted to change that. I wanted to go for a better Psychic check or something that fit my team a little bit better. So in my round 7 pick, I decided to go with the Pangoro here with round number 7. It may have been a stretch here, but we have High here with the round 7 pick, fighting Dark type. Something I didn't really have. Like I said, didn't have a Dark type, and with Pangoro got a new bunch of toys here. Not really much, but it does get priority now with that Bullet Punch to hit those fairy types to go along with Iron Fist, which is very, very cool. Also gets access to Mold Breaker and Scrappy, another Scrappy Mon to hit those ghost types. Super, super hard. And of course, Parting Shot to give me momentum. I actually wanted a Alolan Persian in this slot, but it was sniped like 2 picks before me, and the person who picked before me also wanted a Alolan Persian, so I never would have gotten it in the first place. So I settled with Pangoro here because our league, we do allow status Z moves, with the exception of the Omni Boost moves, so no Z Happy Hour, no Z Celebrate, so rip Jirachi. But Z Parting Shot is allowed. It is, albeit slow, base 58 speed, but Choice Bandit is very, very nice. Or Dark EMZ Parting Shot, like I said. It gets access to Drain Punch, can knock off Bullet Punch for that priority to scare off those fairy types, especially boosted by Iron Fist. Mold Breaker to bypass certain stuff like Levitate or whatnot, which is also cool. Base 124 attack is nothing to sneeze at. So yeah, that is our Pangoro. So we hit round 9 and I've yet to draft a Mega. And another thing to note about my team so far is my team has a lot of base 100 Mons. Like, I had nothing that went higher than 100. I had Jirachi, I had Flygon, I had Entei. I had nothing that cracked 100. I had nothing higher than base 100 speed. So I need a Mega, and I need a fast Mega. And the only fast Mega that appealed to me, and the only Mega I could really afford to take at this point, was a Tier 2 Mega, and the Tier 2 Mega in question that I took is the one and only Susumebachi, the Mega Beedrill. So Mega Beedrill getting that great buff for Gen 7, getting the speed from its Mega right away, so you don't have to run protect to get that base 145 speed, great 150 attack, adaptability to power up U-turn and poison jab. Its physical defense is doo-doo crap, but it's still a force to be reckoned with, considering how many switches it does force, and it does force you to run like some very, very significant physical defensive mons, which it can just U-turn out of. And I have a bunch of responses to physical Pokemon like Bandit Entei, Bandit Pangoro, Jirachi and Togekiss can wear things down too, Tangrowth as well. And I can surprisingly run something like Toxic Spikes on my Mega Beedrill to as Mega Beedrill can force switches, and I can U-turn out for that early momentum to go along with Parting Shot. So solid value pick, and it gives me the speed that I needed on my team. So that is my Mega Beedrill. So round number 10 comes around. I only have enough points for 2 tier 5s. And I wanted to focus one of my tier 5s on having a better response to electric attacks or electric Pokemon, as Flygon is not the most reliable electric check. So with round 10 in tier 5, I went with Old Major. We got back our Piloswine. This gives me the better electric check on the team. It also gives me another Stealth Rocker, so I don't have to run rocks on Jirachi or Miltank. Another thick fat Mons to cover up the fire and ice weakness. Eviolite is to boost its defenses and whatnot. And it gives me a priority user with Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, Earthquake, Roar, Toxic. It's pretty substandard at this point, but Piloswine is a very, very underrated and good Mon. So yeah, that is Piloswine, and I'm pretty sure I messed up the rounds because I said this was round 10, I meant round 9, so everything else was kind of thrown off. So this is my round 9 pick in Piloswine, and for round number 10, I decided that to get some more speed, as Mega Beedrill was my only Pokemon over base 100 speed. So round 10 came around, figured I'd go for an electric type Pokemon, so I decided to go for the Zebstrika in Elisa. So Zebstrika, base 116 speed, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Overheat, Hidden Power. It's kind of limited from a coverage option, but it does have some solid abilities, Lightning Rod and Sap Sipper, another Sap Sipper Mon, even though I have Tangrowth, so mostly you might see me just run Lightning Rod to boost its special attack. Like I said, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, pretty substandard stuff. I could potentially run a physical, but it's kind of weak in the physical department, so I'm kind of forced to run special. And oh man, I almost lost my train of thought there. And anyway, so that's our Zebstrika here for round number 10, and with my last pick, round number 11, we did have the option of franchising one of our Pokemon from our Season 1 team, and with the people that know me all too well, they had a pretty good idea of what I might franchise, and to no surprise, I did franchise the main Pokemon that held it down for Season 1 in Aquafina, the Manaphy. So Manaphy is back with the team, back for another round with the main Red Clawitzers. You pretty much know how it goes. I mean, me seeing a draft recap with no water type would have been very, very awkward, but nonetheless, Manaphy, you know the drill. Tail Glow, new toy with Water EMZ, Icy EMZ, Grassy EMZ, the list goes on and on. So another thing to note about the league is the fact that we can run a Z-Mon on any Pokemon of our choosing, other than the Megas, of course. So we don't have that restriction of just one designated Pokemon per team, or in some leagues it's 3. So we can run a Z-Mon, a Z-Crystal on any Pokemon on our team, whether it be Manaphy, Z Parting Shot on our Pangoro, Jirachi, Togekiss, any Pokemon I choose, I can run a Z-Mon on. So yeah, that is going to be the team for us. If you guys enjoyed the team, the draft recap, feel free to leave a like in the description. Feel free to leave a like, leave a comment. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, because Season 2 of the NES is back. So, my Week 1 match will probably be up sometime next week. But you do have another match to look forward to. MPL week number 4 against Bizer and the San Francisco 49 Tails. So I am going to get the heck out of here. And until the next time, my name is Tone. My name is Anthony, aka Tone, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the flip side. Later.